Alright, we got a no heat call here at a house where the gentleman said he was told his furnace was flooded and that it would be easier just to replace it than to fix it. He wants a second opinion, so we're going to go look at it and give him one. Alright. I can see it's been a little bit wet in here, but see the watermark there. Let's see what the furnace looks like. Alright, so we got to go under this duct to get to it, but noticing that they never took the big original oil furnace out. And this house is old enough. There's been more than just that in here. I see a train furnace over there, and it looked like an ICP coil, but that right there is probably original. That old burner over there. See if you can see it. Oh yeah, well, look at that old gunfire. That is an old one there. Those were good ones. Alright, let's get under this duct and get over and look at that furnace. Okay. Now I'm looking at the water line everywhere. I'm not sure that this furnace itself has actually been underwater. This condensate pump's seen a better day or two. Certainly go along with that. And it's not wired in anymore. I don't know if this furnace been underwater or not, but no light bulb. Let's open it up. Okay. Now it looks to me like we'd have a mud mark there like we do on them bricks over on the other side. And we're up on a little bit of a hump here. It might have gotten to the bottom of some of that, but I just don't see evidence of this furnace being underwater. That's dry as a bone in there. I'm sorry, but this furnace was not submerged 2 days ago. That's just not the case. And now the condensate pump, it's probably needs to go, just looking at it. Of course, it's dirtier outside than inside. It's full of water and full of mud. It probably ought to go, I'll agree with that. Somebody's been in here. And this may be going the other way. I don't know what that goes to. But here's the condensate pump that was last pulled out of there, I'd say. That might be going over to another one or something. But Let's jump this thing out and see if it'll come on. I'm not seeing anything wrong here other than the pump. Let's see if it fires up. Okay, let's try the fan first. Well, the blower motor works. Let's see if the furnace will fire up. Here comes the induced draft. Here comes our hot surface. And there was our furnace. I don't have my jumper wire, one of them with me that's got a clip on it. And it's quite a fight to get in and out of here, so I'm gonna rig this one on here to where we can watch it burn for a few minutes. Okay, so what I did instead of climbing back out and going to the truck is I just loosened the R and W, and I stuck this loop of wire under there to jump it out, and we're gonna fire it up again and see if we can watch it burn a few minutes and see if it brings the fan on along with the heat coil. See if everything's okay here or not. But as you saw, it did fire up a minute ago. Yep, here comes our hot surface ignition. Went right back off. I wonder if this regulator got any water in it. I'll tell you, this is all too dry under here for me to believe that the water got up real high like it did over there by the crawl door. And like I say, we're up on kind of a hump here. I mean, this piece of carpet right here, that hadn't been wet. Look at all this sand. There hadn't been no water in this furnace, at least not recently. Alright, I have to get on the other side of this gas line, but look at that. I don't think it's even in the flame. So let's watch it fire up if it will. Not too happy with the regulator or the valve, but I don't think that flame sensor is even in the throw of the flame. Hopefully it'll try again and it'll light up so we can witness that, but I know it doesn't go like that. Look at it. I don't know if it's bent or what. I mean, it's in the correct hole there. And the connector's turned. Yeah, look at that. It's loose. That's all that's wrong with it. Well, we won't be cleaning that one, but if we replace it, that'll stop it from going right back off, but then we got to worry about why it doesn't light every time. And I don't think that's a gas pressure issue. Yeah, see, as soon as I tapped on that valve, it lit. Now, sensor sticking in the flame, I bet you it'll stay burning now. Now the problem with tapping on a gas valve and it lighting up is the fact that if it can stick closed, then it can also stick open. So you never play around with a gas valve. Whenever a gas valve gives trouble, replace it with a new one. Absolutely. And I don't know what busted this flame sensor loose in the ceramic, but that's definitely the issue with it staying burning. So I don't see the furnace replacement being necessary here. Like I say, one of these big we do it all outfits, they need to stick to plumbing too, because you know they just never do very well heating and air wise. They rip people off, rob them blind. They get their guys and pay them on sales and commission, and that's what happens when you come out here and find this. Like, look how dry all that is. And you're gonna tell me this was wet a couple of days ago inside this furnace? I'm sorry, but that just ain't the case. So let's go get a gas valve and a flame sensor, and let's fix these people's heat. All right, so I'm gonna change the valve first. And I don't have one quite like that old style there, but it's just a single stage 2-wire valve, so it's not going to be a big deal. So I'm going to put one of these valves in it, and we should be okay. Hello, it's Ted Cook.
Hi, Mr. Cook. This is Bonnie Evans calling, and I want to see about scheduling service checkup on my air and heat.
Okay, do you have heat and air working right now?
Yes. Oh, yes.
And
you told me to call back around April to get them both serviced because it could start getting warmer.
Right, and I'm waiting for more masks right now.
Okay, there is no hurry.
Well, I'm being a little bit careful.
So me too. I'm in that late 70s stage.
Right,
So.
and I don't come in your house without one. It's not that I'm afraid of getting it. I don't want to give it to you.
I know.
Because I'm going into a lot of other houses.
Exactly,
So,
and I appreciate that.
Give me about another week. Maybe call me a week from Monday and see if we've got any more by then.
Okay, I have another question for you. I
Okay.
have had a real problem finding a good plumber, and since you're in this kind of business, I'm going to have my water heater replaced.
Well,
Is there
we
someone
do
you can-
tankless, but we don't fool with tanks anymore, so I'm not sure what kind you want. Is it gas?
It's gas, yes.
Right. If you just want to put another tank in, I'll have to dig you up one of my buddies or whatever, but if you want tankless, we do those.
Well, that's quite a bit more, isn't
Yeah,
it?
they're expensive.
Yeah, it is, and I really don't want to do that much.
I understand.
But
Well, I
I
can
had
try to
that
dig
one-
you one up and have it for you when you call me back. I'm under a house right now, so I can't really locate his number, but I've got a couple of friends that are plumbers.
Okay, well, I will call you back in about a week, and you can let me know.
Call me a week from Monday and see if our masks have showed up, and if they are, we'll come right over that week.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So this shouldn't be a big deal here. Boy, somebody has got a real short. That's not even a nipple, that's just a all thread or closed nipple, whatever you call those. I have to grip it with that. Get this union loose. Okay. This looks awful close to the bottom. Our valve is a little bit shorter. We may have a little bit of an issue. With that. One other thing I see that I'm not crazy about is this little thread protector being used as a coupling. That's really not a coupling. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but that's one of those things that comes on the end of the pipe when you buy them. Sticks of black iron pipe. And it's actually not a coupling. But people use them. That's hard to get to right there. So, and obviously this valve is not going to spin in place. We have to pull this burner bar off here. Okay. This ought to be easy enough to get off. Get the other one on. Back in there properly. I hate when these in-shot burners, or whatever we want to call them, I've always called them air horns. I hate when they flop around excessively and make it difficult to get them to all line back up. They're all in there. That door is not gonna, tell you what, that thing is gonna stick out just a little bit too much for this door to go on. I did not think about that like a dummy. So I'm gonna see how loose it feels when I turn it. We may have to take it out. I think we're okay. It is tight. Okay. Looks like we're pushing against that just a tiny bit. Oh, we're okay. We are just fine. All right. Let's get the gas valve in place. We're going to be able to use this. I think so. I think it'll go right back like it was. All right. Go ahead and bleed this a little. Sure does stink. And as we remember, this flame sensor was just freewheeling and spinning everywhere. Take it out. Well, most of those have a 1/4 inch in them. And this one does, and it's one of those deals where some of your nut drivers have a fatter head on them than others. So it just makes it a little stubborn to get it in there. But that one ain't no good no mo'. So I brought us a new one. It'll be nice and tight. Go in there. And hopefully line up correctly. Oh yeah. We're right in the flame. So only other thing we have to do to this furnace is the condensate pump. Because as we saw when we got here, they have this one unwired, and it's pretty much full of mud anyway. So let's change it. I hate when you go to pull it out and it pulls the whole apparatus out. That's not so bad on a pump you're going to throw away, but you hate when that happens to a newer one that you're just moving or keeping or whatever. But didn't have really any excessive length here, so I was hoping to pull it out without losing any of the tube. You can see this pump here has seen its better days. So we're going to drag it out of here and chunk it.
Yo. Hadn't fun yet?
Who? So when you looked in that door, do you see anything that looks like it might be fun?
No, not really. Wasn't too bad. It had to put all the plastic up.
Well, since you're here, you could grab me the condensate pump I forgot in the back of my truck.
You got one in your van?
Yeah, well, you sure ain't got one in your pocket, do you?
No. I ain't got my van here either. Whereabouts is it in your van?
Ours is a little bigger than the one that came out of there, so I'm over here trying to dig by hand.
I got a little shovel in my toolbox.
You got a bridge to get across that mud with?
No.
Getting a little too old. For that kind of climbing and crawling. Dang it. You know, I hate mud. But good Lord gave us everything we got on this earth for a reason, I guess. Gotta have a little rain every now and then. And along with the rain comes the mud. We could get one without the other. I'd be a fan of that. So, I'll wire this condensate pump back into the furnace. And test fire all this stuff. Head to the next one. I'll tell you what, those big companies that pay their guys based on sales, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. I don't know if they need to do some spot checking behind them or what they need to do to make sure they don't sell people stuff they don't need. No connector or nothing on that. But it's not going to be the end of the world under here. Not too many people jostling around or dragging stuff in and out of here. I guess that other one had burned up. And that's why they had it unwired, and from the looks of it, I saw no need to try it or test it or anything. Full of mud. So, and somewhere in here was the cap, the lid, whatever, to this box. I sure thought it was in here. There it is over there. Doggone it. Now I got to go back around this gas line. A little bit aggravating to get. There she is. And also thought I had the screw. I need longer arms to reach over and get that nut driver. Alright, so let's go ahead and we can either do things the old school way and break the yellow, or we can do things the way most do it now and break red with any kind of safety switches. Most people break red. I think that's what we'll do. A little bit more wire. Put a little more meat in there for it to grab. There we go. Okay. Let's turn the power back on. Now we got a light on our condensate pump. So I'll take this little jumper I robbed off of something in here the other day. Made that out of something, I don't remember what it was. Piece of excess wire off maybe one of those junk pumps or whatever. So I'm going to see if the flame comes on and stays on. We tested the air conditioning before. Hopefully, flame sensor and the gas valve are fixed the furnace. I see it going red. That might help. Let's just let it fire up one more time. And we will leave it